Good evening, my 6th class students. Today we are going to start a chapter called Fractions and Decimals. I'll write it down on the board. Fractions and decimals. We'll take care Telangana's textbook chapter called Fractions and Decimals. Later on we'll do IIT Foundation syllabus. Earlier we have studied about fractions in your 3rd class, 4th class, in your class 5th. But those who are new or those who have not paid attention in 3rd class, 4th and 5th, for them, if I define fractions by definition, I think it is difficult you people to understand. A part of a whole is called fraction. I don't think you people have understood. Let me give one example and I'll explain. I'll repeat the definition again. A part of whole is called a fraction. Suppose you have one apple. If you divide apple into 2 pieces, how are you going to describe mathematically each part of your apple? How you are going to define mathematically? Example, the same apple, if you divide into 4 parts, then how you are going to define each part mathematically? Okay, that is actually the meaning of fraction. I'll tell you. If you take an apple and if you divide into 2 pieces, then you call this is half piece and this is your half piece. Okay, so there are how many pieces are there? 2 pieces are there. Means you have divided apple into 2. You are going to write down 1 by 2. This is called a part of a whole, is called fraction. I think now you have understood. Suppose same apple, if I divide into 4 parts, then you are going to write down as 1 by 4. It means what? The fraction has 2 numbers. One is above the fraction line and one is below the fraction line. The number which is present above the bar, you call it as numerator. The number which you find below the bar, you call it as denominator. See here, the number of parts is actually represented by a denominator. So you should always remember that the number of parts are actually represented by a denominator. Suppose if you have an apple and you have divided into 8 parts or say 6 parts, then you are going to write it down as 1 by 6. That's one apple you have divided into 6 parts. So denominator always represents the number of parts you made. This is the definition of fraction. So whole means a complete. W-H-O-L-E, whole. What is fraction? A part of a whole. Say this is your 1/6 part. Suppose you made first 6 pieces. Out of 6 pieces you ate 2 pieces. Then what is the part you ate? That is 2 by 6. Out of 6 parts you ate 2 parts. That is represented by fraction. So fraction is a part of a whole. So I'll write down the definition here. Fraction means a part of a whole. This is your definition of fraction. This is the minimum thing you have to keep it in your mind while doing fractions. Now I'll go the kinds of fractions. I'll go to the kinds of fractions. Kinds of fractions. Kinds of fractions. First, you call it as proper fraction. Second one, you call it as improper fraction. Third one, you call it as mixed fraction. Fourth one, you call it as like fractions. And fifth one, you call it as unlike fractions. You please write down these kinds of fractions. First, up to the 6th standard, I am telling you, these are the fractions, and this is very important chapter as far as aspirant students are concerned, because fractions, once if you understand, then you can do better chapters like percentages, ratios and other stuff. Now I'll explain what you call it as proper fraction. What is proper fraction? Proper fraction. When the numerator is less than the denominator, or when the fraction is less than 1, you call it as proper fraction. I repeat it again. The fraction in which the numerator is lesser than the denominator, such kind of fraction you call it as proper fraction. Or it is less than the fraction which is less than 1, you call it as proper fraction. Example, if I take 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a fraction because you made 2 parts out of whole, that is 1. So it has become less than 1. The fraction part is less than 1. That's why you call proper fraction is the fraction which is less than 1. Second, you can say the numerator is lesser than the denominator. Such fractions you call it as proper fraction, like 1 by 2. Any fraction, say 4 by 7, say 9 by 13, any fraction where the numerator should be less than denominator. You understood? This is called proper fraction. Now we'll go to improper fraction. We'll go to improper fraction. When the numerator is more than the denominator, such fraction you call it as improper fraction, or of the fraction which is more than 1 is called as improper fraction, which can be converted into a mixed fraction. Here 1 is divided by 2. Okay, 4 is divided 7. Not possible, but whereas suppose if I give you like this 7 by 2, you can easily divide 7 by 2. Of course, you won't get whole number as an answer, but you will get fraction answer. So you get a whole number and as well as fraction. Then such kind of thing you call it as mixed fraction. That is what I am going to explain next. So 7 by 2, say 9 by 5, say 8 by 3. These fractions you call it as improper fraction, where the numerator is more than denominator. So here we can write down, for the proper fraction, numerator should be less than denominator, but whereas in improper fraction, numerator is greater than denominator. I am taking right from third class standard. Now we'll go to next mixed fraction. Mixed fraction. A part and a whole, you call it as a mixed fraction. Example, I'll tell you. If you take 7 by 2, this is an improper fraction. When you divide this, what you get? See here, 2 and this is your 7. 2 3 times, 2 3s are 6. Remainder is 1. This is remainder. Okay. This is quotient, this is divisor, and this is dividend. That all we know. Okay, this is dividend. This is divisor. This is remainder. And this is quotient. We all know this. We have studied already in our previous class. Now we can write down this in a mixed fraction form. First, it should be in this form: Q R by D. This D, divisor. So quotient, remainder, and divisor. So what is quotient here? 3. So 3. What is remainder? 1. 1. And what is divisor? 2. 2. So 3, 1 by 2. So 7 by 2 is nothing but 3, 1 by 2. So you got two things here. One is your whole number, 3 is your whole number, and 1 by 2 is your fraction. You have whole number and fraction. So such kind of thing you call it as mixed fraction. Mixed fraction. You have a whole and also you have a part value. Such thing you call it as mixed fraction. I'll explain you once more mixed fraction. You are going to divide it. You are going to divide 9 by 4. 4 2 times 8. Remainder is 1. How you are going to write down this improper fraction into a mixed fraction? Converting improper fraction into mixed fraction. So you get it as, first you should write down quotient. What is quotient? 2. 2. Then you write down remainder as 1, and the divisor is 4. So 2 1 by 4 is your mixed fraction for 9 by 4, which is improper fraction. So this is the conversion from improper fraction to mixed fraction. So we have learned what is proper fraction, what is improper fraction, then mixed fraction. The next topic, what is that? Like fractions. Like fractions. Like fractions. The fractions which has a same or similar denominators, you call it as like fractions. Suppose 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 7 by 2, 9 by 2. These you call it as like fractions when the denominators are same. Unlike fractions means you have a different denominators in fractions. You call it as unlike fractions. The next one is unlike fractions. That is, say 2 by 3, 1 by 4, 9 by 5, okay, 2 by 7. You call it as unlike fractions, where you have a different denominators present. You have studied about proper fraction, improper fractions, mixed fractions, like fractions, and unlike fractions. We'll go now to one more concept. Otherwise, we'll start the chapter of class 6th. We'll go according to the problems there so that you can understand much better, more clear. So this is your chapter for class 6th Telangana textbook. Page number, page number is 84, fraction. The same thing given here. Now you can easily understand definition. Fraction. A fraction means a part of a group or of a whole. This is called a fraction. Suppose you have this as a whole part. When you divide into 2, each part is like 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. It means what? This representation of a part, you always represent it in the form of fraction, where you have numerator and denominators. Again, we have studied about kinds of fractions, that when a numerator is less than the denominator, you call it as proper fraction. When the numerator is more than the denominator, you call it as improper fraction. And you can easily convert improper fraction to a mixed fraction. What is mixed fraction? A part and a whole is called mixed fraction. We have gone through like fractions and unlike fractions also. Like fractions means the fractions which have same or similar denominators, you call it as like fractions. Unlike fractions means different denominator values. Fractions are called unlike fractions. Let us start this. I have revised it. Hope you people got this. Let's see. Now, how you are going to pictorially, how you are going to represent this fraction. You have a fraction here. See, how will you represent the following pictorially? Do this. You draw a picture and try to explain the given fraction 3 by 4. Remember, I told you the denominator always represents the number of parts. The denominator always represents the number of parts. That is what. So you make any figure should have 4 parts, because you have denominator here is 4. I am going to explain this and third. You do it second and fourth by yourself. So make an object, prepare an object in such a way it should have 4 parts, out of which 3 parts you shade it with different color. Example, if I take a box which has 4 parts, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Parts should be equal. Rough diagram, it may not look equal, but always part means equal. Either by size or by weight, it should be equal. Then only you call it as that number of parts. The whole part is divided equally, either by weight or by size. It should be divided equally. So this is your total parts. Out of whole, how many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. This is 1 part, this is 2 part, this is 3 part and this is 4 part. Or you can say this single part you call it as 1 by 4. This part you call it as 2 by 4. This part you call it as 3 by 4. Means, I'll just change the color. 1 by 4 means only this 1 by 4. 2 by 4 means this is 2 by 4. 3 by 4 means this is 3 by 4. 4 by 4 means complete. 4 by 4. So 4 by 4 is nothing but 1 whole. So in this way you are going to represent for all these questions given here. 3 by 4 means you have to draw 4 parts and equal parts. You just shade any 3 out of it. So I am going to shade this like this, 3 parts. I'll shade it. Then this picture is represented to this fraction 3 by 4. Similarly here 1 by 3. So what are you going to do? you make a picture so that it should have 3 equal parts. Equal parts, I am telling you. Suppose if I take this picture, 3 parts, then 1 by 3. So I have to shade to 1. I'll shade 1, then it represents to this fraction. This picture represents to this fraction 1 by 3. Remember always in fractions, denominator represents to the number of parts you make. You understood? Let's go to the next problem. See here, write the fraction representing the shaded portion. You have to represent what fraction the shaded portion is. It is very easy. First, fraction means you should have numerator and denominator. That is first point. Second point is denominator should always represent to the number of parts of a given picture. Here, I'll just go with this. Denominator, how much I should write? How many parts you have in this? This is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So total is 3. Write down in denominator 3, and shaded is asking you the shaded portion. How many shaded portions are there? Only 1. This is shaded portion. So you write down 1 by 3. Total 3 parts. Out of 3, 1 part is shaded. Similarly here in this, total parts how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. How many parts is shaded? 1. So 1. Total parts are 4, but shaded part is 1. That's why you call it as 1 by 4. Here you have how many parts you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total parts are 6. Should write down in denominator. And how many parts are actually shaded? 2 parts. Write down 2. So 2 by 6. Fraction for shaded portion. In this way you are going to do it. Let's see. Now do this. Do this. Write 5 proper fractions and draw them pictorially. So you can do it. 5 proper fractions. I'll just do it 1. You write down another 4 proper fractions, right, pictorially. That you have to draw the picture to represent those proper fraction. I'll just do it 1 by 3, 2 by 3. I'll do it. 1 by 3 is a proper fraction or improper fraction? That is proper fraction. Why? Numerator is less than denominator. 2 by 3, it is proper. Is it a proper fraction or improper fraction? It is proper fraction. Why? Because numerator is less than denominator. Okay, fine. Then I'll draw picture to it. Here it is 3 parts, right? Okay, I'll take it 3 parts. The same thing. Suppose I'll take this. This is your 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. 1 by 3, I have taken an example. So I'll shade only 1 part. So I'll shade only with 1 part. I'll shade only with 1 part. This is called your 1 by 3. No need to take 2 by 3 or no need to go with an order, like you can take anything, but you don't take high values, because if you take say 7 by 20, you have to draw a picture in such a way you should get 20 partitions. So it is very difficult to take smaller value just to understand yourself. Let's go to the next one. Rani says that shaded portion is given a figure represents 1 by 4. Shaded, there is this one. This is shaded. Why he is insisting in the question? He has insisted on one word, shaded. What is the fraction of unshaded? According to this figure, there are how many partitions? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. The denominator is 4. Fine. Shaded part is 1. So you have written 1. So 1 by 4 is your shaded part. Unshaded part how much? 1, 2, 3. 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is your unshaded part. 1 by 4 is your shaded part. So that's why you have to insist on this word shaded, unshaded, right? Do you agree with her? Of course, we all agree, because here shaded part, shaded word given, 1 part is shaded, Here in question has given 1 out of total parts how many? 4. So we too agree 1 by 4 is the shaded part here. Let's go to the next one. We have already, right, I have already explained you what is improper fraction. Now we'll study about improper fraction. I have already explained you the definition of improper fraction. Now I'll explain once again. When the numerator is more than the denominator, or the fraction is greater than 1, you call it as improper fraction. So here in your textbook given improper fraction, let's see. See, fractional numbers that are more than 1, you call it as improper fraction. And here I'll just tell you one more thing. What is that? When a numerator is more than the denominator, such fraction you call it as improper fraction. Example here given: 3 by 2, 5 by 2, 7 by 3, 8 by 2. All fractions you can see 3 by 2. 3 is more than 2, 5 is more than 2, 7 is more than 3, 8 is more than 2. Such fractions you call it as improper fractions. And improper fractions can be converted to mixed fraction by dividing to numerator by denominator. That is what given here. So you can do this. If not, I'm going to explain. See here, write the following as mixed fraction. I'll do 1 or 2, remaining you can do it. If not, you just ask me, I'll do it again and I'll explain it again. 7 by 2. This is improper fraction or proper fraction? Of course it is improper fraction. Why? Numerator is greater than denominator. You call it as improper fraction. So it is possible to get the mixed fraction. 7 by 2, you divide 7 by 2. So 2 3s are 6. Remainder is 1. I told you how you are going to convert improper fraction to mixed fraction by the division method. How you are going to write the mixed fraction out of it? That is, first you write down the quotient value 3, and then remainder by your divisor. So it comes 3 1 by 2. This is called a mixed fraction form of improper fraction 7 by 2. Similarly, you take 8 by 5. 8 by 5. You divide 8 by 5. How much? 5 ones are 5. 5 twos are 10. It exceeds then 8. So you just take 5 ones are 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Now you write down this into a mixed fraction. You take first quotient. Quotient is 1. Remainder is 3. Remainder by divisor is 5. So 1 3 by 5 is your mixed fraction for the improper fraction 8 by 5. In that way you are going to do the remaining stuff given in this. Let's go to the next one. You have to just find it out. That is page number, I'll just see here, page number 87. Try these. Is asking you to do, write the numerators and denominators of the following fractional numbers. 1 by 3, 2 by 5, 7 by 2, 19 by 3, 7 by 29. All values given, you have to just write down numerator values and denominators value. So how you are going to do it in your notebook? You take first one as 1 by 3, 1 by 3. Okay. Numerator is equal to 1, denominator is equal to 3. Second value you take down 2 by 5. Numerator is equal to 2, denominator is equal to 5. In that way you are going to do the problems. Now I'll just show you Sort the following fractions into category of proper and improper fractions. Also write improper fractions as mixed fractions. This is also simple. I'll just, first you have to point it out, first you have to list it out, the number of fractions given here. Out of these fractions, what are the fractions? You call it as proper fractions, improper fractions, and those improper fractions you can easily convert into a mixed fraction. You can do it like 1 by 3. First you check it. If numerator is less than denominator, you call it as proper fraction. If numerator is more than denominator, then you call it as improper fraction. For improper fraction, you can convert easily into a mixed fraction by a division method. This is the way you can do. Okay. Example, this is proper fraction 1 by 2. 2 by 7 is also proper fraction. 8 by 3 is your improper fraction, because numerator is more than denominator. So you just divide. So 3 2s are 6, remaining 2. So first 2 quotient, then remainder 2, then divisor 3. So 2 by 3 is your mixed fraction form for improper fraction 8 by 3. In that way you are going to do the problems. This is something very important. You call it as fractional numbers on a number line. For this, I'll explain on other slide, fractions on number line. Later on we'll come back to this page. I'll just minimize this page as it is. I'll go back to easy board where I'll explain fractions on number line. Then we'll come back to our textbook problems so that you can understand much better. Let's see. Fractions on number line. Fractions on number line. Suppose if a number given, say 2 by 3, another number given, say 5 by 3, how you are going to represent fractions on number line? Before drawing a number line, we'll take the first value and I'll explain this. 2 by 3. In fraction, the denominator always represents the number of parts, right? So you divide a number line. See, you divide the scale 3 parts between consecutive numbers, between the numbers. Say between 0 and 1, you make it 3 parts. From 1 to 2, you make another 3 parts. That is, between the numbers, you should make how many parts? 3 parts, because denominator given here as 3. Let me show you. Suppose this is your number line. This is 0. After 0, you make 3 parts. 1 part, 2 parts, and this is your 3 part. You keep it here as 1. Then again 3 parts. 1, 2, this is your 3, this is your 2. 0, 1, 2. You make it 1, 2, 3. The number line, right? The parts, the partition between the consecutive numbers are divided according to the number given in the denominator. Now you see, this is 1. Okay, 3 parts are there. So this part you call it as 1 by 3. This part you call it as 1 by 3. This part you call it as 2 by 3. And this part you call it as 3 by 3. So 3 by 3 is how much? 1. You got it. So this is your 2 by 3 part, this is your 1 by 3 part, this is your 3 by 3 part, that is 1. Now after that it is 4 by 3. This is 3 by 3, right? I'll just write it down again. I'll just write it down again so that you can understand. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, so on. In between the number, the scale, the number line, the ruler is partitioned or divided according to the value given in the denominator. For this fraction, you are going to draw a number line based on the number given in the denominator. So number is 3, so you make 3 partitions, don't make 3 lines. Partition, this is called one partition, this is second partition, this is your third partition. You should say 3 parts. Okay, so 0, this is 1 by 3, this is 0 by 3, this is 1 by 3, this is 2 by 3, this is 3 by 3. 3 by 3 is, when you cancel it, you get 1 only. See, 1 is there already. Then we'll go to the, I'll change the color and I'll explain. After 3, it is 4 by 3, this part. This part is 5 by 3 and this part is 6 by 3. Now, you see here, you will get a whole number here, because when you divide 6 by 3, you get 2. Okay, that is 3 2s are 6, remainder is 0. You got the whole number. If you find any remainder, then you can write it down as a mixed fraction. But you got here whole number. See, already we did it here, 2. Now, this is what? After 6 by 3, this part is 7 by 3, this part is 8 by 3, and this part is your 9 by 3. Again it becomes a whole number, because when you, okay, good, when you divide 9 by 3, 3 times 9, you got 3 here. In that way you are going to present fractions on number line. I'll give you one more example. Suppose you have, say, 7 by 6, where this 7 by 6 lie on a number line. For that, what are you going to do? First you see the denominator value. Denominator is 6, means between the numbers, between the consecutive numbers. Consecutive means very next number, that is 1 after next number is 2. 2 after very next number is 3. So consecutive numbers, right? You should divide the number of partitions 6. Example, I'll take a number line. This is 0. 1 you have to write down. After 1 you are going to write down 2. But what is the gap between 1 and 0 and 1 and between 1 and 2? That absolutely depend on the value given in the denominator of fraction. So here you have 6. So you make 6 partitions between 0 and consecutive number 0 and 1, and again from 1 to 2. So here 0, this is 1 partition, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1. This is 0. This is 1. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. This is a number line. You have 6 parts between the consecutive numbers. Now you represent 7 6 lies where, on which mark. Let's see. This is 0 by 6. This is 1 by 6, this is 2 by 6, this is 3 by 6, this is 4 by 6, this is 5 by 6, this is 6 by 6 cancels for one time, you got it already. Then this is 7 by 6. So 7 by 6 is this, you round off this. In this way you are going to represent the fractions on a number line. Hope you people have understood. I have given two examples. If it is say 7 by 20, it means you have to divide the 20 partitions between consecutive numbers to represent that fraction on a number line. Let's go back to our topic, number line. We can see here, it's given here 1 by 2 means what? From 0 you are going to make only two partitions. 1 by 2, how many? What is the number in the denominator? Number in denominator is 2. That's why you make only two partitions. From 0 is this is 1 and second one. So this is 0 and this is 1. So obviously this is 0 by 2, this is 1 by 2, this is 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is nothing but 1 only. In that way you have to understand and do it. Let's see how you are going to do. I have told you the first 7 by 6, you can do it. Do this on page number 88. Let's see. Seven by 6. Draw a number line. You make 6 partitions between the consecutive numbers on a number line and then see where 7 by 6 comes. Now remember, I have told you two definitions, different definitions for proper fractions and for improper fractions. Now let us, I'll just prove it on the number line also. First one, I told you what is proper fraction. Proper fraction is the fraction which is less than 1. You call it as proper fraction, and the fractions which are more than 1 or greater than 1, you call it as improper fraction. It means what? That improper fraction is always greater than 1. Proper fraction is always lesser than 1, or you can say the fraction which is lesser than 1, you call it as proper fraction. The fraction which is greater than 1, you call it as improper fraction. That I am going to explain on a number line. Now you see, I'll take two values. I think you can do this, but I'll take two values. One value, I'll take this 7 by 6. And I'll take the other value, this one, 1 by 3. I told you two things, right? Number one is 1 by 3 is what? It is a proper fraction because the numerator is less. So this is your proper fraction and it should be less than 1. Clear? Right. And this is 7 by 6 is improper fraction. Why? Because denominator is more, that is 1. Second one, improper fraction means the fraction which is greater than 1. So this is your improper fraction which should be greater than 1. Let us see on a number line. It should fall below 1. That's why you call it as this proper fraction which is less than 1. And this number 7 by 6 should come after 1, means greater than 1. Let's see. I'll take a scale here. Let me check 7 by 6. Example, this is 0. I have to make how many partitions? I have to make 6 partitions because the denominator is 6 here. I'll make it, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 6. This is 1. And again I'll make it 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is 2. Okay. When the scale is divided into 6 parts between the numbers, then this is your 0 by 6th part this is 1 by 6th part, this is 2 by 6th part, this is 3 by 6th part, this is 4 by 6th part, this is 5 by 6th part, this is 7 by 0 by 6, no? 0, 1, how many partitions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0 by 6, 1 by 6, 2 by 6, 3 by 6, 4 by 6, 5 by 6. This is 6 by 6. This is 6 by 5 by 6, 6 by 6. When you cancel 6 by 6, it becomes 1. It's already there. This is 7 by 6. So this 7 by 6 actually lies here. Where? More than 1. See here, this is 1. 7 by 6 is greater than 1. That's why you call it as improper fraction which is greater than 1. So we have proved even on the number line also. Now we'll go back to our this one, 1 by 3. We'll do it again. 1 by 3. It is very simple. 1 by 3 is your proper fraction and it should be less than 1. Let's see. Same thing. You draw a number line. This is your 0. Then how many partitions you should get? 3. 1, 2, this is your 1, 1, 2, this is, okay. 1 partition, 2 partition, 3 partitions. 1 partition, 2 partitions and 3 partitions. Don't count the lines. If you count the lines, you get only 2 lines for 3 partitions. Remember that always. Okay. Now, this is 0, 0 by 3. This is 1 by 3. So, this lies here which is less than 1. See, 1 is here. This is less than 1. That's why you say proper fraction is always lesser than 1. So, we have proved. Number line method also we proved. Proper fractions and improper fractions. In that way, you just check it. Even you can do this also. Consider these numbers. Which of these would lie on the number line before 1, between 1 and 2? That you have to check it. Okay. Suppose before 1 means it should be proper fraction, very straight. And the number which lies between 1 and 2 means it should go beyond a whole number, right? Let's see. Suppose you have 7 by 2, or you can say 3 by 2. 3 by 2, you just divide it and check it. 2 and this is 3. 2 ones are 2. So it is 1. 1 by 2 means after 1 it is 1 by 2. Suppose if I write down here is 7 or 5, I'll just do it here. 5 by 2. What happens? This is improper fraction number 1. Second one is you divide 5 by 2. 2 2s are 4. This is 2 quotient, remainder 1 and this 2. 2 1 by 2. So 2 1 by 2, 5 by 2 lies between 2 and 3. It crossed 2. You understood? So in that way you have to do it. Hope you have understood this. Do it. Show me the notes through WhatsApp. I'll do corrections. If I find any mistakes, I'll just guide you then and there. If not, I'll take a snap of my working and I'll send you so that you can correct it. Now we are entering into first exercise of this chapter after 1 hour of our class. That is 7.1. It is very easy because I have explained you the concept of fractions, kinds of fractions, what is the difference between kinds of fraction, that is how the proper fraction differs from improper fraction. mixed fraction, everything. I don't think now you take much time to finish this exercise, but even then I'll just show you out of these which are proper fractional numbers. Here given 3 by 2, 2 by 5, 1 by 7 and 8 by 3. So out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to find out what are proper fractions. Proper fractions, only one thing. Two things you should keep in your mind. Number one is the fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Such fraction you call it as proper fraction first. Second thought is the fraction should be less than 1. Such type of fraction you call it as proper fraction. So here 3 by 2. This is 3 more than 2. This is your improper fraction. 2 by 5. 2 is less than 5. This is your proper fraction. 1 by 7. This is your proper fraction. 8 by 3. This is your improper fraction. Over. Now go to this one. Which of these are improper fractions? Now we'll see. You have no need to write the clarification here for each bit. Is asking out of which you just write down only those values which are proper fraction. In similar way, write down only those values which are improper fractions. And third one, and in this only you have another one. Write where each of the above improper fraction numbers would lie on a number line. That you have to do it on a number line, and then please find it out. Hope you people already got it. Then pick out the mixed fraction of this, which means he has given 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Out of 4 questions he is asking you pick out mixed fraction. Mixed fraction means you should have both a fraction and as well as whole number. So here you have whole number and fraction. This is called mixed fraction. So this is mixed fraction and this is mixed fraction. That's all. Then come to the next one. Convert the following improper fractions into mixed fractions. So this is also very easy, right? Convert the following improper fractions into mixed fractions. All are improper fractions only. See, numerators are greater than denominator. I'll just do it one. You can do the remaining as a part of your homework. 7 by 3. 3 2s are 6. So how you are going to represent this improper fraction into a mixed fraction? First you write down the quotient, then take one reminder here, copy the divisor. So 2 1 by 3 is your mixed fraction value of 7 by 3. Then go to the next one. Convert the following mixed fractions into improper fractions. Now this is something you have to listen. You have to convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. Simple, I'll tell you. I'll just do it here. 1 2 by 7. This 7 you just multiply to this whole number. Divisor to whole number. 7 into 1. 7 into 1. What is the answer? 7. Whatever answer you get it, you add numerator to it. 7 plus 2. It becomes how much? 9. By the same denominator you write down 7. So 1 2 by 7 is nothing but 7 in the 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2 9. 9 by 7. So this is your 9 by 7. You have converted mixed fraction into improper fraction. Similarly, if you want to do, you can do to this 3 2 by 8. How you are going to do this? You multiply these two, that is denominator with the whole number. 8 3s are 24. You add a numerator to it. 24 plus 2 is 26. By you keep the same denominator 8. So the answer is 26 by 8. Do the remaining two problems. You can understand. Then equivalent fraction. Of course, this is like fractions and all is a one set, and here we will consider equivalent fractions. Here you have equivalent is nothing but is a least value, a least fraction. Okay. 1 by 4 is equal to 2 by 8. Nothing but this is your least fraction. This is your least fraction 1 by 4. If you cancel this, you should get again to the least value. Okay, means it has raised to double. You should have a common factors. You keep on increasing with the common factors. Means if you multiply this with 2 to this fraction, it becomes 1 by 4 into 2 means you have to multiply 2 to the numerator and also to the denominator. It becomes 2 1s are 2 by 2 4s are 8. That is this. If you multiply this with 3, 1 3s are 3, 4 3s are 12. This is, you call it as equivalent fraction, because when you cancel it, see here 2 by 8, 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8. Again you get the least fraction. Same thing 3 by 12, 3 by 12, 3 1s are 3, 3 4s are 12. You got it as 1 by 4. Again this is your least fraction. 4 by 16, when you cancel 4 one time and 4 16 times, you get back to again 1 by 4, that is your least fraction. So these fractions, that is the multiples, right, the factors of these fractions, you call it as equivalent fractions. It means when you start cancelling it, you get back again to the least fraction value. That is why you call it as equivalent fraction. So 1 by 4 is always equal to 2 by 8 and it is always equal to 3 by 12. Because whenever you cancel, again you get back to the same. That's why you call it as equivalent fractions. Let's go to the lowest form of fraction. That is called lowest form of the fraction. Yes, one more terminology. So 2 by 8, find out lowest form of fraction of 2 by 8 is nothing but 1 by 4. Okay. Find the lowest form of fraction of 3 by 12 is again 1 by 4 only, because 3 by 12, 3 1s are 3 4s are 1 by 4. You got this only. 4 by 16, convert 4 by 16 into least form of fraction is nothing but you cancel the same table. 4 1s are 4, 4s are 16. You got it as 1 by 4. Again this. So you call it 1 by 4 is your least form fraction of 2 by 8, 3 by 12 and 4 by 16. These things if we practice, you can definitely go for it. Write down this. Write 5 fractional numbers that are in a standard form. Yes, you can even call it as lowest fraction form is also called as standard form. Standard form. I'll just give you example. 7 by standard form means you should not have a common factor except 1. Right? 7. Suppose here you have 7 by 28. 7 by 28. You have only 7. 7 1s are, 7 4s are, 1 by 4. So 7 is the only factor here for both the values. You don't have any other factor. That's why, I mean, this kind of 7 by 28, right? This kind of fraction, you call it as standard form of fraction. You can do this. You please do it. We'll see. Like fractions and unlike fractions. What are like fractions and what are unlike fractions? I told you, when the denominators are same, you call it such fractions are like fractions, and when the denominators are not equal, not same, not similar, then such fractions you call it as unlike fractions. So here in exercise 2, we have this. Which group of fractions are like fractions among the following? Yes, you have denominators 7, 7, 7. So this is your like fraction. 9, 9, 9. Same denominators, this is fraction. But here, one is 7, another one is 9, another one is 11. So this is not your like fraction. Do the second one. Write 5 groups of like fractions. You have to write down 5 groups of like fractions. In each group you write down 2 to 3 fractions. Say one group you write down 1 by 3, 5 by 3, 7 by 3. This is one group of like fractions. Similarly, you write down 5 groups like this. From each of these, identify like fractional numbers. You just identify from each. Okay. 4 by 6 can be written as 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 by 3. So 2 by 3, 5 by 3, 1 by 3 and 2 by 3. This is your like fraction. This is not like fraction because you cannot cancel this. And here, and also you don't have, right, same denominators. Here also you have different denominators. So this is also not a like fraction. So you just do it. Let me see this part. Ascending and descending order fractions, a very important topic. We'll continue this into the next video, the part 2, second part of this chapter. Don't miss this part, because this part, that is ascending and descending order of fractions, are very important. How you are going to make greater than and lesser than, ascending and descending order in fractions. You know the whole numbers. You can write down easily ascending and in ascending order and descending order, as well as you know what number is greater than other number, what number is smaller than the given number. So all you can do it in whole numbers, but whereas in fractions, you know, you need to have certain logic that I am going to tell you, and we'll continue this chapter in the next video. Till then, hope you people have understood this chapter, and remaining problems, what all I left, you please go through it and remember the definitions of all kinds of fractions. And I'm expecting you through WhatsApp that you have watched complete video and you have finished your work, homework, and start doing even in the classwork also, and do the homework problems also in classwork, so that I can get all the problems order wise from right from first problem. Do this, try this activity, everything from the textbook. You please do it in your classwork book also. So hope you people have understood. If not, repeat the video, watch it again and again, so that you can understand the concept of this. This concept is very important, fractions concept. Through this concept you are going to encounter two ratios, to percentage values. Say 90 out of 100, you scored 90 out of 100. So antecedent and consequence, all these things you are going to learn in the coming chapters. So fractions are very important, and this is the basics one. You please go through once again and complete your work. Till then, next video, stay happy and stay healthy. Thank you.